like this happens every single day. Stuff this sick and more happens every day. And as mortified as I am by my husband's actions, the man I swore in front of my family and friends to go through life as one, as disgusting. Eddie wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't the devil. He just couldn't keep his darkness down anymore. And it ate him. It ate him. It ate those poor little girls. And now it's eating me. And you can pull your hat down and say, that's evil. But the truth is, that's all of us. That's the world. We're all just a few bad days from sicko. And that's not Satan, that's the truth. And it lives in me, and yes, it lives in you. And if your God
enters
is so freaking great,
Amish schoolhouse,
then where was he?
and opens fire.
Where was he when my husband took 3 guns, KY jelly, and plastic ties and drove over to Stoltz Road? You know, you come here and try to make nice with the sicko's wife. Well, now you see me. You know what I am. You can leave. Amish people putting food in my fridge. That girl at the store who tried to help me, and I was such a jerk to her. I wanted to rip my skin off. I said, you can get out. And then, right then, he looks at me. He looks right at me with his weird beard and blue eyes. And there, in the middle of his eyebrows, is a word. One word. And he pushes that word into my brain with his blue stare.
When I was a sophomore at Elizabethtown College, just down the road here, I was driving around looking for a barbecue that my friend was having at his parents' house. I had gotten lost on the back roads, and I still don't know how it happened to this day, but he came out of nowhere. Bright hair, blue eyes, around 8 years old. He was riding around on his little scooter. Yes, scooter. My little Honda Civic knocked him about 20 feet. I still remember the shock of him against the gray road. His bright hair, his blue shirt, his yellow hat, next to his red blood.
Think, if you're a lowly sack of crap, it'd be pretty nice to have an angel sitting in your living room. Not so much. To feel like your whole being is this rotting grave, and have this man-flower sit with you, be with you. It hurts. It hurts so much. But it also helps in a way that nothing else.
I was sitting in the emergency room. There wasn't a scratch on me, but I was a mess. I remember his parents held me as I cried, the stranger who had run over their son. They kept saying, "It's all right, it's all right, it's all right." Heavy to receive and heavy to give.
And that word, it's like he burned it there, with his face into my face. And that word repeats itself over and over in my mind.
I know what you're thinking. Taco, slut, cliche, cliche.
This is Anna with her pretty pink lips. And these are the ties on her wrists and her feet. And the bullet.
The first thing I see is flowers. Flowers in the bright daylight behind our house.
After a long battle, Erin did eventually fully recover, and she's been my friend ever since.
Every night, after I put the boys to bed, I drive over to Stoltz Road. I park my car at the end of the lane, and I walk the quarter-mile to his yard. And then I stand before the door, feeling him on the other side. The house is usually dark. They go to bed so much earlier than we do. But sometimes I see him in there, see him burdened by the sadness of the world.
It is one of those beautiful fall nights when the moon is full and you can see for miles. Everything is deep blue. The lamp is burning in our kitchen. I see my papa. He can't sleep again. I can see the bald spot at the top of his head, how the skin is pink and shiny there. I go to kiss it, but he puts his head on the table and covers his face and shoulders with his arms. He doesn't want to wake Mama. Deep sobs. He sounds like an animal is inside of him trying to get out. I see his body in the fight, muscles tight, shaking. He puts his hand over his heart and mutters over and over,
"Help me, Lord! Help me!"
Then I'm into the night sky. I'm like a bird. I see someone standing in our yard. A woman. She's standing in our yard. She is looking at my papa. Then I'm off.
And I go home. I go to bed. And the next day is easier. Easier because he exists.
There's something about them, something that unsettles you. I've been teaching about them, studying them for 25 years. It doesn't matter what faith you are, or if you even have one. Something about them makes you wonder, what am I? Could I be more?
One time when Anna had the flu, Marion and I just put some peach jam on a piece of bread and wrapped it in a towel and threw it up into Anna's bedroom window to cheer her up. It was spring, so the window was open, and Marion just threw it with all her might. And it went right through the window. It landed right on Anna's bed. We couldn't believe it. We could hear Anna was laughing and coughing, so we knew that she had gotten it. This is Anna's best friend, Marion.
I got back from the mother-daughter night. It was tonight. My mother didn't come, so I went, but as a mother. And my daughter was inside me. I did do St. Francis. Maybe I'll do Titania next year. But when I got home, the white lady was sitting on the couch with my mother. My mother was crying. My mother said, "Siéntate, bebé." So I sat down. The white lady said,
I was just telling your mother that you tried to help me at the store.
the white lady said she was sorry. She said to my mother, and then to me,
She is a good girl.
This is my best friend Emma. She has red hair and she can hold her breath a long time. And this is Margaret. She has the weirdest teeth.
Last night, I saw Eddie. I saw him standing at the edge of the lawn, right where the grass meets the road. I don't know how long he'd been standing there, waiting for me to look out and see him. I couldn't see his face. It was too dark, of course. But I knew it was him. Got up, looked out the window. I don't know how long for, but I looked at him. And there it was. The word. That word. So I said that word to Eddie, repeated it over and over, sort of begging him, sort of reassuring him, until eventually saw him fade. Saw him fade into the night until he was gone. And then I'm like a bird. I'm soaring over the fields.
This is Catherine. She's a great singer.
And I swoop down into a barn, and there is music. A music I can feel inside my chest. I feel so light and pink.
This is Elizabeth, who talks all the time. And there's her little sister Mary, who never talks at all.
And suddenly, I swoop back into the sky, and I fly towards this huge moon. This huge white moon in the middle of a bright day sky.
This is Dolly. She snores when she laughs. And then there's little Esther.
And I feel so light, like I am meant to fly to this moon. Like that is what I'm made for.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Can you see him? He's here. God is here. Can you see him? Can you see him? Keep looking.